It's Thursday. It's Thursday, May 5th, 2022. We're going to talk about sports. Talk about NBA basketball, which was yesterday. And there's playoffs again tomorrow and Friday. We're going to talk about hockey. Amazing playoff hockey is crazy to watch. And then we'll talk about today's hockey games as well. And then we'll talk about baseball. We'll talk about yesterday. And then we'll talk about each game today. I know, I'm just going to do a lot of talking. But if you guys want me to keep doing these videos every day, I do have a demand. I have a demand that this video, which is going to go over all three of these sports today and which picks it likes the most, and really every game, that this video gets to at least 100 views. If this video doesn't get to 100 views, I'm going to wait until it does, and then I'll do the next video for the next day for the sports. Because if we can't get to 100 views, I'm doing this, I'm speaking out to the ether, and not enough people are getting a hold of this information. And I don't do a lot of self-promotion. I just put the video up and I assume you'll spread the word. So do that. Spread the word if you want to see more videos. If you don't have the money to pay for any of the products and don't want to run them yourselves but want to see what it says every day, I have no problem doing it on my schedule, but just has to be more engagement. So 100 views is all I'm asking, so go for it. All right, let's talk about basketball. Basketball, great day yesterday. I said Phoenix pick of the day because the margin was big, was the pick of the day. They covered by like 20, right? They won by 20. They more than covered. So that was easy money betting Phoenix to win. Easy money. Even though the line wasn't great, and they covered anyway. This Miami situation with injuries, the Philadelphia 76ers, that major injury to Enid or whatever the guy's name was, I can't remember from yesterday, clearly had an impact. And this game, Philadelphia doesn't cover that 8.5, and Miami wins. Algorithm said they were going to win, and probably a lot of these guys played. I didn't even check. There are games on not the 5th, but the 6th, right? I think I put the games in already. 6th. I need to refresh this. Sometimes... There it is, the 6th. There are 2 games right here, and I don't have an updated injury report yet, which we'll have, I guess, tomorrow. If this video gets to 100 views and I do a video tomorrow, then we'll have a look to see how this changes. Is this the same thing, same 2 teams playing? Because the series, these are the only series going, I guess? Or no, there's a Golden State one too. Maybe I got the games wrong. I don't know. We'll look, but that's what I have here. Yeah, I thought there were some other teams, so we'll find out. I don't pay enough attention to basketball. We'll find out. All right, so let's go and let's talk about hockey. Yesterday's hockey games, obviously, crazy stuff. Carolina wins. You got injury to Ranta, and Kochechkov comes in or whatever. Algorithm would have got this wrong, though. Thought Boston would have pulled this out. It doesn't happen. Carolina really strong at home. Here, it doesn't favor Tampa Bay like it did the game before, and favors Toronto, and then Tampa Bay plays like the champions they are and win this game. Playoff hockey, extremely difficult to predict. Has a closer game here that Minnesota just walks over St. Louis 6-2, and Edmonton just said, makes no mistake, they are not going down without a fight to LA, and with authority, right? Finally explodes offensively last night. So hockey's just crazy, right? So what about today? Well, one thing is that it's going to be a fight. Now, Louis Domingue is where all the talk is in Pittsburgh because they keep injuring goaltenders. The story of this playoffs already is injured goaltenders. I've never seen so many third string, fourth string. They're bringing guys from different countries that don't even speak the language. That's what's going on yesterday. Over here to play, you've got Louis Domingue playing in this game. Boy, does it think the Rangers should win this. I'm a fan of the Rangers this season, and of course, Shesterkin. There's just a triple overtime game. Whatever. But Algorithm likes it. Here, as I'm personally a Caps fan, and what do you do here? It says Florida rolls over this game. They just dropped one. I've seen bad stats for Bobrovsky in the playoffs. That when somebody can't ever get it going in the playoffs, then that is cause for concern in the playoffs because it's just a different animal. So it makes this line super juicy, and I'm just rooting for them. So, even if I don't expect to win, I might do something on that, being in a state where I can bet later today, certainly to watch that game. So, Nashville and Colorado. This one, every time I've discussed this game with anyone who knows hockey, they go, yeah, playoffs, a lot of times the underdog can win, but don't bet on Nashville. Colorado's gonna destroy them. And they're like, Nashville ain't winning. So, yeah, the consensus is that this is the number one pick of the day. And if you want to just enjoy a game and not win a lot, but enjoy it, it's apparently just bet on Colorado to win this game. Because that's what's supposed to happen, big time, right? 79-43. They're not as powerful as Florida, but they have already shown that they are strong. And Kemper doesn't have the same situation, even though the ranking for Kemper and Bobrovsky is the same goalie rating at 75%. So that's interesting. All right, Dallas and Calgary. Obviously thinks Calgary continues to roll here. It was a 1-0 game last time they played because Ottinger is a good goaltender. So this is probably we can expect that lower scoring game because these goaltenders are the best sum total, I believe. 149 to 148 to 130. Yeah, you would expect these goaltenders. I'm just summing up their goalie rankings percentages. Should be the lowest scoring battle because it has the best goaltenders, and you don't think of Dallas's offense as being really fantastic, although Calgary's can be. So obviously going to be a fantastic night of hockey. I look forward to watching some hockey and getting in on that today. Now, let's talk about baseball. Yesterday's baseball looks a little better, I think, than the preliminary that I sent out because the Mets were higher up on the preliminary yesterday, and they lost. But there's some wins up top in that big game, big margin, St. Louis, Milwaukee. The Yankees barely lose 2-1, I believe, but Colorado wins. So this is looking okay, but of course baseball is a whole mess and a lot to go over, and it's still tough to win on a choppy board because you need to have 5+ straight wins up top. You got to have like everything in a chunk, like got to win at least these 3 here, and so it's still not a successful day in my opinion with the MLB algorithm yesterday. How about today? Well, today's version says that once again Milwaukee over Cincinnati. Biggest thing ever. Cincinnati has brought in some new players today. I noticed when I updated a lineup that there were 2 guys down here that are coming up as blanks. Those guys are new rookies, are coming up from AAA. So that means the roster for Cincinnati, while it's bad anyway, it's even worse than normal. And so it's really making this game, it's throwing it way to Milwaukee, but why wouldn't it? And it's kind of like, well, what do you do here? Do these kids play good? Did they hustle? Did they make this a closer game? How good really is Milwaukee? And it's whatever. Just listen to it, right? It says Milwaukee's going to crush it. So when you talk about picks of the day, it's Milwaukee, right? And I mean, who is their pitching matchup? They're going up against Hunter Green, who doesn't have stats from last year, but his stats are ugly for this year on a team that's not playing well. So what do you think is going to happen, right? There's a part of me when I go over these every day and I realize I want to look for things that I said that are consistent, that are predictable. And whenever I've spoken to people like in Las Vegas, like professional, or at least the group of professional bettors or people who spend a lot of money on it, talk about it, they're like, yeah, Ken, you always should just go, you do all these different algorithms, you should just take the premium stuff on each one of them. Don't even worry about everything else, because if you want low variance and reliability, you're like supposed to take the number one. And that meant, yesterday in NBA, it meant taking Phoenix Suns because it was obvious. It meant taking Milwaukee yesterday here. It wasn't as clear in hockey because hockey is just crazy. So there's almost not even a hockey pick you can count on. But like something today, it's saying Milwaukee. Is it also saying in these other games? The answer is no. Look at the difference in margin. Difference in margin is 11.8 to 39. So like there's a really good chance that Milwaukee's going to win this game. And the rest of them, maybe they'll win. Hopefully they'll win. But it's not like the disparity in teams here. So if this one loses, something crazy happens. So if you just do a parlay for the day, you're supposed to do Milwaukee and I don't know. It's the only pick of the day, right? And the rest of the stuff, it's got 3 underdogs. Maybe it'll be fun to have fun with those on a round robin, but don't expect to win all of them. If you get lucky if you win 2 of them. And if you win 1 of them, you're winning nothing on a round robin by 2, so think of it that way. All right, guys, that's the video for the day. I really hope this gets to 100 views. I really do. All right, good luck. May all your picks be winning.